Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys free agent could sign with Commanders before 2024 season. The Dallas Cowboys have already seen their former defensive coordinator Dan Quinn join the Washington Commanders, but he may not be the only one. As June approaches, corner Stephon Gilmore has yet to find a new team and the Commanders are an apparent fit. At least, that's how Commanders wire writer Brian Manning sees it. In a May 29 article, Manning makes the case for Washington signing the 33-year-old. There's a perfect candidate available who has played for head coach Dan Quinn and defensive coordinator Joe Witt Jr., Manning wrote. Gilmore to Washington makes sense. The Commanders have signed numerous veterans to short-term deals who have connections to the new coaching staff. The logic is sound, as Gilmore and Quinn are familiar with each other. That being said, it's not like they've spent several years together. In fact, the 2023 season was the first and only year Quinn and Gilmore have been on the same team. Still, the prospect of Washington getting Gilmore isn't ideal for Cowboys fans. Gilmore was a reliable, good addition for Dallas last fall, and having to face him rather than support him is a challenge. Corners don't often have a shelf life of 10+ seasons, but Gilmore has been an exception. While he is past his prime at this point, the former South Carolina Gamecock is still a top-end corner in the league. He is 4 years removed from his 2019 Defensive Player of the Year campaign with the New England Patriots, where he swatted 20 total passes and grabbed 6 interceptions. But as Pro Football Reference shows, he has pulled down 2+ interceptions in 3 of the 4 seasons since. Statistically, last year's run with Dallas was his best season since his peak with the Patriots. Gilmore grabbed 2 interceptions and registered 13 passes defended, while also adding a forced fumble. Each passing year is a question with Gilmore, as it is for any mid-30s NFL player. But if the Cowboys or other teams are just going off the tape and numbers, getting his signature wouldn't be a bad thing. At this point, just about anyone in the NFL is in the running for Gilmore. He's a quality player that most teams would improve by adding, but it's a waiting game for both the player and the suitors. Gilmore can likely get paid more money by waiting until a team truly needs him as a starter. That is possibly why the Cowboys haven't brought him back, as Trayvon Diggs is returning from his ACL tear and Darren Bland has emerged as an every-snap player. And if Gilmore has it his way, a reunion with the Carolina Panthers could be in the cards. As Heavy covered previously, Panthers defensive end Jadeveon Clowney said Gilmore wants to be back in Carolina. Jadeveon Clowney on Stephon Gilmore, "I'm gonna try to get him to pull up, too." Says Gilmore told him he's trying to get the Panthers to bring him back, The Athletic reporter Joe Person wrote on X on March 29. Reports suggest again that CeeDee Lamb could be first major Dallas Cowboys extension to happen. We are in the final days of May and on the precipice of both the Dallas Mavericks and Dallas Stars reaching the championship round of their respective sports. Given that the Texas Rangers won the World Series last fall, that would leave the Dallas Cowboys as the only one of the major 4 sports teams in the Metroplex to not duel for a trophy. A lot of things seem to separate the Cowboys from the collective pack these days, and one of them is how they are approaching their offseason in general. The Cowboys chose to spend free agency mostly as a wallflower, which is par for the course and not really surprising, but they have been similarly slow to get extensions done for their major players as well over the last few months, and in the process have drawn a ton of skepticism. June is the final month of the year without any sort of real NFL activity, and it therefore offers the most idle of idle hands. Will that time bring us an extension for one of Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb and/or Micah Parsons? Perhaps. But odds are escalating on who the first one could be. Back in the early days of the new league year, reports emerged that the Cowboys had a priority when it came to their extension candidates. It was reported to be CeeDee Lamb. Even if you are someone that wants to see the team extend all three players involved here, there is a strong argument that Lamb is the extension that should carry the most urgency given the state of the market, in terms of deals that could happen to escalate the price at each respective position. Quarterback. This offseason has already had the Detroit Lions pay Jared Goff, and while that likely did, raise the floor at the quarterback position, the risks of anyone else significantly elevating it are small, again, relative to the other positions involved. The Jacksonville Jaguars could still do so with Trevor Lawrence, and the Miami Dolphins are also a threat with Tua Tagovailoa, but for the most part the waters here are more stable. Wide receiver. If there were a big one, it is here. Jerry Jones effectively challenged the wideout market in the lead-up to the NFL draft, more on that in a moment, and basically saw it immediately blow up in his face with the Lions paying Amon-Ra St. Brown and the Philadelphia Eagles extending A.J. Brown. The likes of Ja'Marr Chase and Justin Jefferson are also still out there, as are Brandon Ayuk and Jalen Waddle, so the sooner the Cowboys can get in the clubhouse with a posted score the better, given that conditions are likely to worsen. Edge rusher. Ultimately, this isn't so much about the market as much as it is the grains left in the hourglass. Dallas has the most amount of team control left over Micah Parsons, but beyond that the notable pass rushers in the league all have been paid in recent history. On Wednesday, ESPN's Todd Archer was included in an overall discussion about various players across the league who are in need of new deals. Obviously, these three were included on behalf of the Cowboys. Here is what Archer had to say about each one. Former Dallas Cowboy believes the team should get a jump start on a head coach and fire McCarthy early. Jerry Jones hired Mike McCarthy back in 2020 as Jason Garrett's successor, but he has failed to deliver the Super Bowl win that they crave. Cowboy Nation are not even desperate for a Super Bowl. First, it would be an NFC Championship appearance before they could dream of the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Moreover, the Dallas Cowboys have failed to reach a conference final since the legendary era back in 1995. Their fall from grace has been mind-blowing, considering they had won 3 rings in 4 years before their playoff curse was locked in. McCarthy has not got the team close to a Super Bowl final and possesses an underwhelming 1-3 record in the postseason. In his maiden year in the Cowboys' hot seat, the 60-year-old failed to reach the playoffs, but the season-ending injury to his franchise quarterback Dak Prescott weighed heavily on the outcome. The former Super Bowl-winning coach knows that this is an all-or-nothing season for him as he enters the final year of his deal. Furthermore, to earn a new contract, the minimum requirement for the season is to reach an NFC championship. Even then, the mysterious mind of owner Jerry Jones may not be content with just that. On NFL Network, reporter Judy Battista was asked to list her bold predictions for the upcoming season. She stated that the Cowboys will make the playoffs, but be on the receiving end of a traditional early exit. Additionally, her bold prediction was that Bill Belichick would be the new head coach. Former Dallas Cowboys offensive lineman Brian Baldinger believes they should be quicker in their dismissal of McCarthy. I don't think Jerry Jones could withstand another loss, so I do think there will be a change if there was a playoff loss, Baldinger said via NFL Network. Whether Bill Belichick is the guy. If things aren't going well during the season, then maybe they should make a change during the season and get a jump start on a new coach. Baldinger anticipates that matters could turn sour on the pitch and the front office should not wait around to sign Belichick. Belichick will be in demand next season, with NFC East rivals the Philadelphia Eagles and New York Giants also being linked to his name. Ultimately, Jerry Jones may feel tempted to give McCarthy the boot early in the season to get the jump start on Belichick. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Mike McCarthy? Leave your opinion in the comments.